Okay, welcome everyone once again. So this is the fourth part, and if you have been watching us all together, then you must know who we are. And if you are watching it for the first time, then let me introduce myself. My name is Dhimandev Goswami, and with me,
Hi, I'm Manu Yadav.
and together,
We welcome you to the Common Man.
yeah, that's right. So the common math. And the main purpose of this community is to mostly find the why of the things which are surrounding us, mostly, and to find the essence of mathematics. Okay, and right now what we have in front of us, or what we are working on in this week's uploads, is we are questioning the why of reasoning, the how and the what, and the what kinds of questions the you face in examinations are already being taught to you by many influencers in YouTube, as well as your teachers at school, as well as your parents. But the main reason why, the main motivator or the main engine inside you is still not functional, or that is what I feel, that what I used to face when I was, preparing for some examinations. So that why part in the previous lecture which we talked about. So in the previous lecture we mostly talked about that these reasoning that reasoning is like the verb the okay, I've not spelled it wrong, Manu, watch that. In the is like the vertebrate of maths, right? It's the vertebrate of mathematics, and it's already available inside our brains. It just, the engine needs to be started. We just need to find the key. So our first and the foremost approach towards this should be, towards this should be to find what exactly is reasoning. So let me just do one thing, very simple thing. Let me just clear the things off the board quickly. So, Manu, what do you have to say? That are we going good? So, this is the fourth part. Are we missing out on something, or do you want to add something to it?
No, we're not missing out.
Not missing out on much, but we are developing. We are developing on the go. It's from our past experiences and from what we have studied, or what we, or the lacunas or the loopholes, what which we had to puddle through. And those things we are trying to question, the things which are not so much readily available on YouTube or on education, the why of it. Okay, so with that notion, the why of it, let's ask ourselves. So the question now is, what is the formal definition of reasoning? Can, what according to you, Manu, come on, what's according to you the definition of reasoning? What do you think?
I think reasoning, like if you get some questions which are like related to reasoning, I think that itself is to test a person or a student's analytical ability. So the reasoning part requires the logical level of the analysis
Yep.
to arrive at a solution. So basically, I think that is that. Yeah, I think reasoning, it involves some concept, but it requires a person to think out of the box. That is what I think.
Okay, so let's just formally, very skeletal base, let's put inside ourselves. Okay, so let me just define it. It is that what the reasoning is. So it is thought. I'm just putting keywords: thought process, thought process to arrive at sensible, or in bracket, by sensible, what we mean is logical, sensible decisions. So sensible decisions. Okay. So with this definition, I actually wanted to, talk about a very, subtle example, or like the how I believe when we are approaching, or when we are trying to, understand something, as you say, that it's we have to come out of the box. So there is a very there's a notion that the world is like a rat race, isn't it?
Yeah.
So world is like a rat race. But the irony is, rat doesn't race actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put it in. I'll take just another. So let's just put. I guess let's just take. I've given quite amount of moment for you, the viewer. When I say you, I'm addressing the viewer, and when I'll be saying Manu, I'm addressing to Manu. And when I say me, that is myself, Timan Dev Goswami. So you, I've given quite some time. So the definition is, the skeletal is, I guess you have read it, that the definition of reasoning is, it is nothing but it's the thought process to arrive at sensible decisions. And now I'm going to talk about the rat. Okay, I'm going to talk about why we should be a, okay, let's put a very beautiful name to it, rat is like, why we should be a mouse. Okay, so I'm taking another board here. I'll just, it's there, that layer is there, I'm not removing it out. So how many of us have watched the cartoon Tom and Jerry? A lot of, almost everyone, right? So it was, this cartoon was originally invented or discovered or like innovated back in 1939 to 41, between that range. So the first time it aired in 1940, I guess. So and even after 80 years, see, even after 80 years, it's still entertaining us, and it's still, enthralling us. So what happens in this cartoon? So now let's just, don't let's not like, the main reason why I wrote Tom and Jerry is because Tom and Jerry looks a very, that's a good image of a rat or a mouse. Okay, for the image I'm saying. So what happens if you see a mouse comes out, and then the mouse again goes in? Have you ever noticed that? Okay, if you ever notice a mouse, okay, that's a very bad diagram of a mouse. So what happens? A mouse comes out and it again goes back. Okay, so what it is doing is that it comes out and it looks and it searches around, that if anything is a danger. So it makes, so previously his comfort, or its comfort zone, was inside its den, right? So at home the mouse was comfortable, so it came out, it went back in, then again it came out, and let's consider the milk, the glass of milk or the cheese. Okay, right, the cheese is here. Okay, this is cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, so it came out and then it again goes back in. Okay, and then what happens? And then it again comes out, it looks around. So slowly are you seeing, it's increasing its comfort zone, it's increasing its radar. Okay, the area which it comes out and it watches around, but its comfort level is always inside its home. So, and then again it goes back in. So have you ever noticed a rat or a mouse? So it comes back out and then again the at a very fast pace it goes back in, then again comes out, again goes back in. If you observe a mouse very closely, so that's what they're doing. They move very fast, they move very quickly. So
Right.
so this to and fro motion, this to and fro damping, this to and fro harmonic motion, they keep doing until the cheese falls in their comfort zone,
Mhm.
right? So that's actually what our approach towards education should be. It's not about, yes, of course, we have to come out of our comfort zone, but mm, just to assess that it is for us or not, and then the aim should be to keep increasing. What do you say about that, Manu? Isn't it a comfort zone must keep increasing in a harmonic rate, at a harmonic rate? What do you say about that?
I think the more and more you practice, I think that level of comfortability, I think that increases eventually.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, yes. So practice is like the rat coming out and going in. So one question comes in, you work on it, then you move on to the next question, you work on it, then you move on to the third question, and slowly you move on to the first question. You are unable to do it. You come back, you move on to the second question. You come back, coming back means coming to the zero state where like your mind is not your mind is stable. From that stability, you go and approach another question, right? So you come back and then finally you go to third question, and then when you again come back to the first question, you see that you are able to do that because you already become comfortable with it. So that's happening pretty much subconsciously. So most of the time what happens, we get stuck at examinations, right? So when a question comes, like when I'm faced with a question, so our ego doesn't allow us to move on to the next one. Why? Because like, this question is related to, what do you say, this question is related to simple interest, compound interest, and that I studied back in seventh standard, and I
So,
should be, so I should be able to solve it. I should be able to solve it. Why am I unable to solve it? And the 30 seconds which time you should have done it, you you start taking a minute or two. And so the time duration in which you should have done 4 to 5 questions, you were only able to attempt one question, and you are no attempt one. You are even not sure. You end up being not sure about that. That is this that you're not even sure about that you answered it correctly.
right,
So
right.
that is the very worst strategic position we put ourselves due to ego. Okay.
Even yeah.
So that's like after giving n number of examinations, I have like come to that observation or that conclusion after observing that. So that's what it is. So what have you ever had that feeling that have you ever? So my very honest question, Manu, have you ever asked yourself? Has anyone ever asked you, okay, do you have an ego? What answer have you ever given to them? If or like I'm asking you, Manu, do you have an ego? Do you have?
Yeah, I
I,
definitely have some ego, especially when it comes to something that I specialize in, and when I'm not able to solve it, I actually waste more than like 5 minutes, and then actually takes a toll on whatever if I'm giving a exam or something. Yeah,
yeah. So see, so come on. If you, okay, again the viewer. So if you believe that what we are talking is making sense, then please hit the subscribe and the like button, which is just few rat inches away from your YouTube video screen. It's just
yeah, it
below.
should.
And yeah, so again, I guess another 15 minutes is up, and we won't be boring you any further, but we were discussing something good. So let's again end the part here. And in the fifth part, we will be discussing about the, as we started with discussing about the definition of reasoning, now we are going to get a little more, in depth about reasoning. Okay, slowly we are going to inwards. Slowly we are going to really excavate the reason. What did we say? Slowly we are going to excavate and find out the, well, we're going to wait. We're going to find out the, what was the question? What is the reason why we came alive this week? The why. Okay. So with that thing, my name is Himandev Goswami, and
I'm
with
Manu.
me, Manu Yadav. We end the fourth part here, and hope to see you in the next part. Thank you.